What's up guys? My name is Alicia and today I have a foundation try-on video for you with the Too Faced Perfect Peach Foundation. If you were around last week, I did have a bunch of Fenty Beauty videos that went up. Realized real quick that posting 5 videos in one day is not something that any of you are about, which is totally cool. Learned my lesson. And I also had some issues with my lighting. I was using my Vanity Hollywood Girl, I think that's what it's called, makeup mirror. It was causing these bars to go up, which in turn, in the video, it had like these solid bars going up, and in turn, it made half of my foundation look really yellow when it wasn't. Realized real quick it wasn't the right tool for especially reviewing makeup. It wasn't giving accurate results, so nixed those, and I waited to upload the new videos because I got new lighting, which I think is a lot better. Also got a different foundation color because the one I had was a little deep. But we're not talking about Fenty Beauty today. I'm gonna get a video up on that if you guys are still interested. I know that YouTube is more than saturated with the videos, so let me know if you do want to still see my thoughts and comments and stuffs about Fenty Beauty. But today we're gonna be talking about the oh my god, the Too Faced Peach Perfect stuffs. Today we're going to be talking about the primer, foundation, the powder, setting powder, and then the setting spray. So I'm going to try it on, test it out, check in throughout the day, and then come back here and tell you my thoughts. So keep on watching. Alright guys, it is currently early, maybe 8 o'clock in the morning. Oh, I have my phone. I look busted. I feel busted. 8:18. Let me get off apparently some of the makeup that didn't come off when I washed my face this morning and last night. I got my eyebrows done, microblading done last week, and you can't get them wet. You have to be like really careful with them, and it's hard because you forget that they're done. Any like kind of patchiness, or if you see any flakiness on my eyebrows, it's from that. So right now all I have on my face, I put a little bit of Sunday Riley UFO on this situation that just does not want to go away, and then I have IT Cosmetics Confidence in Your Cream, or Confidence in Your Skin, I can't remember what it's called, but that moisturizer. So now we're gonna get peachy. I'm gonna use the Cooling Matte Skin Perfecting Primer. It smells really good. That's the one thing I've noticed. I mean, I haven't really used anything from this collection yet, but I've smelled a lot of this stuff, and I actually love how a lot of these products smell. I feel like they improved the peach smell that they had in the original peach palette. This smells more like juicy real instead of like, here, this is supposed to smell like peach, like a candle or something. This base feels really nice. I can already tell it kind of matted me up even just from my prime or my moisturizer. It feels nice though. It sunk in already really quickly, and it gives a very smooth, very smooth feeling. All right, I'm about that. So let's get into the foundation. So this is the Peach Perfect Comfort Matte Foundation, and it's supposed to be oil-free, 14-hour wear, oil controlling, photo-friendly. I'm using the shade Snow because that's what I wear in the Born This Way foundation. I've got my beauty blender right here that I'm gonna use to apply this. I've heard really good things about this foundation. Really good. All right, so this was 2 pumps that I just did. We'll see how far that goes. Oh, it's covering my situation pretty nicely. Okay, so I think I'm gonna need 1 more pump. This probably would have gone a little bit farther if I dispersed it a little bit more, but that's okay. When I smell the foundation, like just outright, I did notice that it does have a little bit of a peachy scent to it. If I'm like, you know, if I spray it on my hand or pump it out on my hand and get like right up in there, I can smell it. But as I'm applying it, I did not notice it at all, which I actually appreciate, because while I do think it smells really good, I think that your foundation shouldn't, you know, it doesn't need to be that strong. So I'm okay with the fact that this doesn't really smell. I mean, it's like literally, if this is almost touching my nose, then I can smell it and it smells really nice. It's fading away, or at least it's really not noticeable when I'm applying it with my beauty blender. I think that's a good thing. I think that these scents should be like if you want to smell them, you can get up in there and smell them, but I don't think that, you know, it should put off people who have sensitivity two smells. I just like kind of thought about how sensitivity can be a pun and just be sensitivity. I feel like this is a medium coverage right here. This is not enough coverage for me. I applied a little bit more on top and it's not, I mean, I could try a little bit more, but it still seemed it's only buildable to an extent. Because I'm so pale, these bad boys have been around for a while, and because I suck at life, I'm definitely not leaving them alone. So they're very red and irritated and mad at me, which is why they're still showing through. So definitely gonna need a concealer with this one if you have any breakouts or redness. Underneath my eyes, my under eye area is not incredibly dark. Probably would be okay with that. If I wasn't breaking out, I think that this would be a strong enough foundation for me. But, you know, if you want to look overly perfect, I do think if you have any breakouts or any redness or dark under eye circles, you'll probably need a little bit of extra coverage. I do really like how it looks underneath my eyes though. The fact that this is a matte foundation and a matte primer, it's still drying down, it's still a little bit tacky. So it's not instantly drying down. It looks nice. So now I'm going to use the Peach Perfect Mattifying Loose Setting Powder. So there's a lot of mattes, and a lot of the times doing matte on top of matte on top of matte can end up too much, but this whole line, you know, they say cooling matte, comfort matte, and I don't feel like sometimes matte can be associated with drying. This does not feel drying at all. This I love. I wanted to say this too. Their loose powder has an actual like little lid on it, which I think is genius. It even has, for the holes, it actually sticks out. I think that that's great because that means you're not gonna lose any powder. So to get it out, you can just turn it over, tap it up into the lid, and there you go. And then you close it and you're not losing any. I think this is amazing. Why don't more people do this? This smells stronger than all of them. That surprised me. So I'm gonna use my beauty blender. This has a kind of little soft peachy color to it. I doubt it'll transfer. Okay, I'm about that already. So by far, out of the primer, the foundation, the setting powder, the setting powder is definitely the strongest scent in the sense that I just applied it underneath my eyes and I got like a whiff of it and it smelled really good, but it's not lingering, so to speak. This has a very light texture. I barely put any on, you know, I wasn't baking where you can see a ton of it, but it sat underneath my eyes and it looks good, like real good. It's not sinking, there's no fine lines it's sinking into, everything's kind of sitting really nicely. All right, okay. I'm gonna do the same around my smile lines. Too Faced, you could get away with making a perfume out of this scent. I would wear it. It smells really good. So definitely noticing that when I put the powder on, and it could just be because I didn't wait a very long time. If you see it's shiny up here, I've got coconut oil on my brows. So I'm trying to like work around that. This is bringing down it to matte like really quickly because the foundation still feels just a little bit sticky, but this is nice. Ooh, I'm liking this powder a lot. So lightweight, and I can see it getting the job done. Sometimes I feel like I apply setting powders and I just kind of sits there. This feels like it went into my skin. It already feels like it has sunk in. My skin feels nice. Definitely though, for more hyperpigmentation, breakouts, that kind of stuff, I feel like it does need a bit more coverage. This is a nice medium coverage foundation. I like the finish. I love this setting powder. I'm about that right now. Oh my gosh, that's super nice. But everything together, I'm a fan of it. It looks nice. It looks natural. I mean, it feels like just wearing this doesn't feel like I'm wearing foundation. The only thing is my brows are super itchy. That has nothing to do with this review though. It looks really nice. I just think that if I was going out or if I really wanted to look finished, I would put just a tiny bit of really high coverage concealer right here, maybe just a tiny bit under my eyes, but I'm not like, you know, just to make everything look finished. But I think that the coverage on it is not bad at all. So we're going to leave this on throughout the day, see how it wears. But right now, looks good. Happy with how it feels. Feels real, like totally matte down. totally smooth. I'm already can tell you this is absolutely a no-brainer for me. This is amazing. But we'll see how the foundation and the primer last together. Let me see your Poppy hair. Oh, it looks so good. Can you sing like Poppy? Yes, she's eating a lemon. That's how my kid does it. She eats lemons. So I totally forgot. I was so into how good everything felt. There's also a mattifying setting spray. I don't even think I need it, but I'm gonna do half my face. I'm gonna shake it because it says "Shake Me Baby" on the side. And we're just gonna do the right side of the face. Ooh, that was a little too close. That was probably too much, but it smells so good. It's like peaches and cream. Oh, it smells so good. You want me to do you? You want me to spray you? Close your eyes. What do you think? Does it smell yummy?
It surprised me.
It surprised you?
I want to do a video.
You want to do a video? I'm filming you. What do you want to say in your video? Are you Poppy?
Yeah, I am Poppy. I eat the lemon and I have Poppy hair.
You're eating a lemon and you have Poppy hair? I wasn't sure what to expect with this setting spray. I was worried a little bit that it was going to feel too matte, but like everything in this collection, nothing has felt drying at all. It just kind of dried down nicely. It's a little heavy still right where I sprayed it too close. I definitely sprayed too many, so I know somebody's gonna be like, you sprayed half the bottle. I know, I get it. I feel like with setting sprays, I have to feel it on my face, and this one is very light, unless you're like, 2 inches away like I was. But it feels nice, it smells so good, and it already is set down everywhere except, where I was 2 inches away from my face. Hi, all right, checking in. It is 1 o'clock in the afternoon, which means I've been wearing this for almost 5 hours. Everything has stayed put. The only thing that hasn't is right around my nose, and that's because I've been, I don't want to say sick, but like allergies, So I think that that's why it's lifted a little bit on my nose, because I've been blowing my nose. I've had tissues and stuff. The only other area is right here, and that's just because I noticed like subconsciously or unconsciously it was like picking at my face. Noticed it, stopped, and then that's why that kind of lifted up. My face feels nice. Like it doesn't feel like oily or that kind of feeling I associate with a melting candle when your foundation just starts to kind of pick up and feel heavy and gross. It feels completely light. It feels a little dry right around here, I'd say, and that could also just be because my nose and from blowing my nose and tissues and irritation. So far, 5 hours in, and everything is looking good except for exterior issues like rubbing the tissue on your face. I did notice, I did wipe it a little bit, so you can see it's not transfer proof at all, especially since this is the side with the setting spray, so that's just something to keep in mind. All right guys, so it is currently 5 o'clock, which means that I have been wearing this for 8.5 hours now. I just woke up from a nap because my child is sleeping over at my parents' house today. It is a blessed day, and I was so tired because she woke me up at like 5 this morning. I'm starting to kind of get a little bit of that oily feel. I know it's because I just woke up from a nap. I don't think it's necessarily from the makeup. I think it's just one of those like just woke up from a nap and you got that kind of sheen going on. So it's not super bad. It's mainly right in this area. But at the same time, I'm still feeling that kind of dryness feel right along kind of around here. Other than that, I can see my nose is getting a little bit oily. There's a little bit more breakdown around my situation. That's all I'm gonna call that. It's not breaking apart in areas like sometimes happens when I wear foundation for a long time. I'm just gonna bring my mirror closer so I can really see. The only area is really on my nose that it seems to have really pulled away from, and like I said, I think that that's really because of using, tissues earlier on in the day. Under my eyes still looks pretty good. Yeah, everything else I think I'm not mad at. The one thing I do think the issue is for me is my skin is not oily. It is more normal kind of. I'd say it's kind of maybe combo. So using a mattifying primer with a mattifying foundation and then using a mattifying powder on top of that with a mattifying spray was too much matte. And I think that is why I kind of feel really dry in some areas, because it's just too much for me. I think that if I was gonna use the mattifying primer with the foundation, the mattifying foundation, that would have been good. Once I added the powder on top of it, it was a little bit too much, especially on the spray. I am not noticing a difference in how this wore. I guess the spray side did wear a little bit better, but that also just could be because there's not as much activity on this side as there is over here. I just like the spray. I just think the combination of all four for me was too much matte. I think the primer and the foundation together were really nice, but I think if I used a beauty oil like the Farsali or Smashbox, any of the beauty oils on my beauty blender, I think that that would have made it a little bit better for my skin, just because otherwise it's just too much matte, more matte than I need. But overall, I like the way that this covered. I like the way that the primer, I'm holding two foundations apparently. I like the way that the foundation looked on my skin. I liked the finish. I really liked the primer as well. I think that the powder was my favorite just because I wasn't expecting it to be so nice. I would definitely check out this foundation if you are oily. I think that this is going to be a saving grace for anyone that has more oily skin, especially the combination of all of them really surprised me with how well it kept up. If you do have any redness in your skin, or you have breakout situations, acne, or dark circles, definitely recommend having a concealer to go with this, just because I think that the medium coverage is pretty medium and it does need a little bit of help with any extra areas like that. But overall, I'm glad that I got to try it out. I like it. Links below for everything. Let me know if you guys want to see another video on the rest of this collection. I have everything else. I have the bronzers, the Sweetie Pie one, which is so cute. I'm just going to show you it now in case you haven't seen it. You probably have, but it looks like a little pie. It's so cute. And then of course the lipsticks, the eyeshadow palette. If you guys want to see a full tutorial, I'm totally down for that. Just wanted to do a separate little try on video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.